swing early and often against Jason Marquis in Game 1. The best big-inning team in the National League struck again last night with a giant first-inning deposit against the Nationals for a victory in the series opener. Game 2, and the bats swing your way. Next. Citizens Bank Park was how good the Phillies looked in last night's game as they kicked off their final homestand of the 2010 regular season. Game 2 tonight against the Nationals, and the Phillies are 2.5 games up over the Atlanta Braves in the division. The Braves earlier today defeated the Mets 4-2. Hi, everybody. I'm Tom McCarthy, along with Chris Wheeler. Sarge will be along a little later on. Well, last night was unbelievable for the Phillies. They trailed at 1-0 going into the bottom of the first, and maybe there was some uneasiness until the Phillies batted in the bottom of the first.
Well, Tom, they've been throwing up the crooked numbers lately. You know, they struggled for so long offensively, and now all of a sudden they are throwing up a big number. And in the first inning last night, they got a 6 spot. As you said, they fell behind 1-0, then it didn't take very long. Jason Worth right there got a little RBI on a base hit there in the infield, and up the middle for Raul Ibanez. Ryan Howard scoring there, and then Carlos Ruiz was hit by a pitch. Big play in the game right here. This ball hits the second base umpire, Tim Sheeta. Would have been a double play and the inning. Phillies would have had 3 in the inning. As it turns out, they get a total of 6. Roy Oswalt, who pitched so well, got in on the party there with an RBI hit and then another RBI on an infield out. The Phillies during the month of September have been very, very hot, to say the least. 13-3, that on-base percentage. Anytime you get near 40% for a team, I mean, if you get near 40% for an individual player, that's really good. So that's outrageous what they're doing right now.
Well, and the offense is a big part of why the Phillies have been successful here in the month of September. The pitching, too, but really the offense has helped push the pitching and this month of September way over the top.
Well, the month of September has been very, very good to the Phillies lately. There's no doubt about that. For whatever reason, they don't play all that well, and then they really are able to turn it on after the All-Star break, especially since Charlie's been here. And look at the numbers. They are 91 games over 500 after the All-Star break, starting with the 2005 season. And, you know, you don't necessarily want to have to make it happen that way, but it does. We're here again, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, the Phillies are playing really well here at home, and that's a good thing because they have 8 games left here in the regular season at Citizens Bank Park. Tonight, it'll be Kyle Kendrick for the Phils. He'll be opposed by right-hander Jordan Zimmerman, who's coming back from Tommy John surgery for the Washington Nationals. Hey, how about the defense for the Phils so far in the second half? Wilson Valdez has been unbelievable. Shane Victorino, 3 outfield assists in the last 3 weeks. The lineups at first pitch when we return. Phillies baseball. 2 of a 3-game series between the Phillies and the Washington Nationals. Let's take a look at the Nats starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at second base is Danny Espinosa. Ian Desmond, the shortstop, bats second. Ryan Zimmerman hits third. Adam Dunn is in the cleanup spot, followed by Roger Bernardino, the left fielder. Mike Morse gets the start in right field. He'll hit 6. Wilson Ramos, the catcher, bats 7. Batting 8th and playing center field, Justin Maxwell. Jordan Zimmerman, the pitcher, will bat 9th. And he'll face right-hander Kyle Kendrick. 29th start for Kyle, 9-9, a 4.85 earned run average. And Kyle did not pitch badly in his last outing, Wheels, but he's still trying to find the consistency he had in the first half of the year.
Well, his last 4 starts here in this ballpark, 0-4 with a 9 earned run average. So that's something he just has to get better. You see, the Southwest Airlines scouting report needs to pull his weight in this really good starting rotation. And numbers not good against the Washington Nationals, but, you know, this is the first pitch of the game. It's a clean slate. Only 3 left-handed hitters in this lineup tonight, and that could help you.
Including the leadoff batter, Danny Espinosa, who's a switch hitter. Espinosa was 1 for 4 in last night's ball game, scored a run, had a base hit to start the game. And he hits one off the end of the bat, and he has a base hit to start tonight's ball game. So he's aboard to lead off the first. Well, let's take a look at the keys to the game brought to you by Nissan.
And here they are. Well, keep your focus. Phillies just have to keep winning their games, and they'll be in really good shape. And you got a young guy tonight coming off Tommy John surgery, threw a lot of pitches his last time out. Make him work. Do not try to make a lot. Do not make a lot of quick outs if possible.
It's the end of the model year, and Nissan's laying it all on the line. Nissan's bottom line sales event going on now. So Kendrick now will face a right-handed batter, and Ian Desmond, and he delivers a strike. Everything is the same for the Phillies as last night and really the game before. Charlie Manuel has not changed his lineup at all the last few days. He might tomorrow with the day game, but there probably won't be many changes the rest of the way.
Yeah, they're going through a stretch of right-handers at this point too. So, you know, if you were tempted to do something because of a left-handed pitcher, you're not going to see one until Minor on Tuesday night with the Braves.
Espinosa has attempted 1 steal this year. He was caught. Phillies play the infield at double play depth here in the first. And opposite way, that ball's hit pretty well. Jason Worth on the run. He's not going to get there. It's going to sputter to the wall, and Espinosa's around third, heading for home. Utley's throw to the plate is not in time. And Desmond slides in safely at third. It's 1-0 Washington. Not the kind of start the Phillies envisioned. Nationals last night jumped out to a 1-0 lead, and they jump out to a 1-0 lead here tonight.
Well, he puts us in a perfect spot. He hits it pretty well, and it's slicing away from Jason Worth, who has no chance to get there. 1 hop off the base of the wall, then it kicks away, and they both can run. Both Espinosa and Desmond. So right away, it's 1-0 with an easy chance for 2-0.
Well, they scored that a triple, the 4th triple of the year for Desmond. Ryan Zimmerman swings through the first pitch from Kendrick.
And it's just what he didn't need for his confidence to start the game this way.
I think that's a lot. That's a number of the issues that Kyle's had recently is, you know, his confidence. His last 5 outings, 1-3 with a 7.01 ERA. The opposition's hitting .343 against him, and he hits Ryan Zimmerman. So runners on first and third. Kyle has said the last few ball games, and Rich Doobie, I don't know if he's going to the phone or he's coming up. Yeah, he's coming right to the mound. This isn't going to be a hey, let's calm down type of thing. This is probably going to be a pretty stern talking to. A lot of times pitching coaches come out early just to settle down a pitcher. Other times they come out and it's more than a teaching session. You know, a lot of times it's, hey, listen, buckle up, get yourself focused. This is the game plan. You need to follow the game plan.
Well, what do you have to be careful of? Now, they think they can score off Zimmerman tonight. It's not like you're going up against a guy you don't think you can score against. It doesn't mean you will. But you got to be careful to not get the life sucked right out of the team in the building here. And he hit Zimmerman with a fastball running in on him. where all the emotion that's built up before a game. Everybody's here early. They work. They do this stuff. You go out. You're ready to go. Next thing you know, you're down 3-4 runs. It takes a little while sometimes to come back from that, if at all.
Well, now a tough hitter in Adam Dunn. And a swing and a miss to Dunn. It's 0-1.
And these crowds are great here, and you don't ever want to take them out of the game, but that stuff can take the crowd out of the game.
Expected to be another sellout tonight. 116 straight for the Phillies here at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies play the infield for 2. And it's 0-2 to Adam Dunn.
Made 2 good pitches with sinkers there to Dunn, down and away. Kendrick does not strike out a lot of batters, but what you hope is if he can run that sinker down the way, he'll make contact, and if he does, ground into a double play like he did last night.
He had done 0 for 4 in last night's ball game. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. See Dunn's numbers with runners at third and less than 2 outs. A hair above the National League average. He has 93 RBIs this year.
Well, he strikes out a lot. He'll walk quite a bit. That's always been his MO.
Jim Riggleman, the skipper for the Nationals, with Mike Morse behind him with the bat in hand. Dunn sprays another one foul. It remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. One of the constants during September for the Phillies pitchers is their ability to go deep in a game. Now Kyle, who's allowed 25 first inning runs in 29 starts, has been more the exception for the Phillies starters. The last time out, he went 5 rather efficient innings against the Mets. Checked his swing. Did he go? Yes, he did, says Angel Hernandez. 1 away. That was a good piece of pitching right there.
Well, they stayed in the same spot with the same pitch. Dunn was obviously trying to pull there. So they did a really good job. Watch how all these pitches are down and away with sinkers. Sinker. Now they go up a little bit. Foul that one off. And then go outside with that one and then down again. So they actually went inside on one of them. But for the most part, they went down and away, trying to get him to hit into a double play, and they got a strikeout.
Those last 2 pitches that Kyle threw to Dunn were probably his best pitches.
Yeah, especially to a guy who's opening up that fast and trying to pull the ball, because he showed no signs of taking that sinker the other way.
Bernardino was 0 for 3 in last night's game, overall hitting .257. Phillies look to turn 2. And it's no balls and 2 strikes. 1-0 Nationals. Roy Oswalt trailed it 1-0 going to the bottom of the first last night. The Phillies scored 6 runs for him. Carlos can't hold on. And it remains 0-2.
Well, he almost had another strikeout. That sounded like he caught a lot of leather, too.
Kyle now 26 years old. He turned 26 at the end of August. A lifetime 33-23 record in the big leagues. With all of his difficulties the last 2 years, Kyle, prior to that, won some pretty big ball games for the Phillies. And he nearly got the ground ball he needed there with the changeup. Bernardino is 26 years old. He's from Curacao. Hit .377 in the minor leagues this year in a very few games. Played in 14 games before his promotion to the big leagues. And he's got some pretty good upside to him. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Nice night to be at the ballpark. Nice night to enjoy some cotton candy at the ballpark. and a miss. Another strikeout. Back-to-back Ks for Kendrick. 2 outs.
That was a cutter, it looked like, because that had some movement in, down and in, and he swung over it like he thought it was a sinker.
He's 1 out away from getting out of a very difficult first.
Watch his ball cut a little bit, right? See it spinning?
Yeah.
And it cut in towards him, and he swung at it like it was a sinker, and he swung at it like it was in the middle of the plate. He missed it. So that's a huge pitch. Guy who's not a strikeout pitcher gets 2 strikeouts there after Papa Doobie comes out and talks to him.
Mike Morse is now the hitter. Morse is a dangerous hitter, but he can be pitched to. Hitting .290 this year with 10 home runs and 30 RBIs. His second year with the Nationals after spending parts of 4 years with the Seattle Mariners. He didn't play in last night's game, but as you saw from those numbers, he's had a pretty good stretch.
That's where Kendrick really has to bear down now and make a pitch. Because you can get all this momentum that was about ready to leak out of here right back if you get out of this with 1.
Down and away, 1 ball and 1 strike.
And Morse the guy can pitch to. As you said, he's dangerous, but he's got a lot of holes.
And the Phillies have handled him this year. He's 2 for 15 against the Phillies.
Just want to stay away from middle into him, I think. He's looking to pull a lot, most of the time.
On the outside corner, 1 ball and 2 strikes to Morse.
He doesn't look like he likes a ball away, especially early in the count. Now with 2 strikes, we haven't seen him enough to think whether he adjusts or not. But he looks like one of those guys wants it middle in to pull.
Desmond's on third. Zimmerman's over at first. 1-0 Washington. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count to Mike Morse. Crowd getting a little louder now.
Set up away.
Just missed. It's 2-2. A little low.
Good try. And it was a good pitch. And they're going to stay away from him. It's almost like you're pitching a guy in the 9th inning right now. That's how big sometimes stuff in the first inning can be.
Kind of sets the tone for what happens in the 9th inning.
Absolutely can.
Kendrick has his signs. Good play by Ruiz. Kept it in front of the plate. And it's 3-2. So Ryan Zimmerman will be off and running at first.
To a cutter there. And fooled Ruiz a little bit. His ball cut and he just overthrew it. You saw where his release point was. It had no chance to be anywhere near the plate. And then it hit Carlos's foot after the glove.
Thank goodness it hit Carlos's foot.
Yeah, that was going to be a wild pitch.
Wilson Ramos, the rookies on deck. 3-2 the count to Morse with runners on first and third. Zimmerman goes. And Morse stays alive.
Oof.
On the Toyota Major League scoreboard, the Rockies are all over the Dodgers. 12-2. That's the final score. Troy Tulowitzki hit 2 more home runs. He now has 14 home runs and 33 RBIs in the month of September. And the Rockies just a game back behind the Giants in the National League West.
How about that race?
Padres are tied at 4 in their ball game with the Cardinals in the 8th. How about that race? And how about Tulowitzki?
Oh. Melvin Moore hit a grand slam in that game in a 6-run. I think it was a 7th they had. Boy, they're hot again.
Tulowitzki's 2 home runs away from tying Ralph Kiner's National League record for 16 home runs in the month of September. That record has stood for a long time. 3 balls, 2 strikes the count to Morse. And again, Kendrick fires. Ball 4, they'll appeal. No swing, says Tim Cheetah.
Well,
he shakes his head.
For the first time, they decided to come inside to him. And intentionally, you can see where they set up. They're going to throw a fastball in, all that stuff away, hope he'd freeze on it, and he, it wasn't a strike. So the number of pitches he's thrown already, 27 here in the first inning, and still not out of it.
Might sound strange, but it's not the worst thing in the world that Morse was walked, because now you have the rookie Wilson Ramos to deal with. Now he's a very good prospect, a 22-year-old who they acquired from the Minnesota Twins in the Matt Capps deal. You might be able to pitch to him as long as you keep it out of the middle of the plate. The reports are that he's obviously a dead fastball hitter. No stirring yet by the bullpen here in the top of the first. Ramos was one of the top prospects in the Twins organization and one of the top catching prospects in all of baseball. Now, the Twins felt like they needed a closer, so they traded for Matt Capps. And that first pitch is over for strike one.
And he hasn't disappointed them. Well, the Twins are just having another amazing season.
And Jim Riggleman has himself a pretty good prospect to eventually take over for Ivan Rodriguez behind the plate. Opposite way, a grounder to Chase Utley, and Kendrick's going to get out of this inning, and he allowed just one run. Well, it took 29 pitches, and he stranded the bases loaded, but he leaves trailing at just 1-0 as we go to the bottom of the first. Let's take a look at Charlie Manuel's starting lineup. It's brought to you by Xfinity, only from Comcast. Leading it off at center field, Shane Victorino. Placido Polanco bats second. Chase Utley hits third, followed by the first baseman, Ryan Howard. Jason Worth is in right field batting fifth. Raul Ibanez hits sixth. And the bottom third of Ruiz, Valdez, and Kendrick to face right-hander Jordan Zimmerman, a 24-year-old who's one of the top pitching prospects for the Nationals, and he's coming back from Tommy John surgery, Wheels.
The Nationals Pitcher of the Year a few years ago in their minor league system. Came out last year, started out pretty well, and then all of a sudden had a lot of problems and had to have the Tommy John surgery. He is almost 1 year removed from it today. And there's a Southwest Airlines scouting report on him. He has a good fastball, and the guy has almost a strikeout per innings pitch, so he can strike you out.
Well, Shane Victorino leads it off. Shane riding a 10-game hitting streak into tonight's ballgame. Overall, he's hitting .266 with 17 homers and 66 RBIs.
Excuse me, Tom. You wonder what that makes them think about Strasburg? Whether they would think about him in a year if things work out, or whether they would just blow off all of next year with that guy.
Back toward the middle, a base hit for Victorino. That's 11 in a row. Shane continues his hot hitting.
Yeah, he hit an off-speed pitch there, too, which is always a good sign for him. See what it was. Well, you can see the changeup grip. It's a changeup, and there it goes right through the wickets. Hit it hard.
He's bored, and that'll bring Placido Polanco to the plate. Polanco 1 for 5 in last night's game. He's now hit in 6 consecutive ball games. He has a hit, just one hit, in each of those 6 games. Jay McLaughlin is announcing in the press box that the Lakewood Blue Claws won their second straight South Atlantic League title earlier today. Sebastian Baye, a 3-run home run, the Blue Claws catcher. That kid's a pretty good prospect for the Phillies.
He is from Los Moquis, Sinaloa, Mexico. Just say he's from Mexico.
He's a 20-year-old, and he had himself a pretty good year. 16 home runs during the regular season. So congratulations to Mark Parent, the Lakewood Blue Claws, Jeff Brown, their general manager. They needed to win game 1 of what was a doubleheader today because the South Atlantic League playoffs needed to end by today. If they lost game 1, they would have played a nightcap that was scheduled to begin about 20 minutes ago. It's like playing an American Legion game.
Yeah. You could say, game's over, we'll go out to dinner.
Right. The Lucky McDonald's Phillies home run jackpot contestant is Mike Babenko of Clayton, Delaware. If Phillies hit a home run in today's ball game, then Michael will win $100.
Figure out what their problem is right now, why a middle infielder wanted to come in. It certainly wouldn't change the signs because there's nobody at second base. I don't know. When you don't know, you don't know.
Ramos did catch Zimmerman down in AAA.
You know, one's a fastball, two's a curve, three's a slider a lot of times. Wiggles a changeup.
There goes Victorino. Pitch is taken low. The throw to second base is in time. That's a pretty quick release.
Quick release. A great job by the catcher, but he spun his wheels, and Shane thinks he's safe.
He thought he got to the back end of the bag.
It was a real quick release, as you said. Watch him spin, Lewis. See right there? He just a little bit may have cost him the stolen base. Like he got him.
Just the 5th time Victorino's been caught this year. And Zimmerman takes care of Polanco. 2 outs.
That's okay. You know, you like to see him when he gets on one a run and try to steal bases because he's going to make it a lot more than he's thrown out. And all base stealers get thrown out once in a while. I think that was close more than anything because he spun on his first step down there. He really didn't get traction.
Well, with 2 outs, Chase Utley settles in. Chase hitting .272 overall with 15 home runs and 58 RBIs. Saw his numbers in September. 17 runs batted in. He was 0 for 3 last night, but scored a run.
Zimmerman, his last time out, only went 3 innings, 5 hits. And Mike Stanton got him for a couple of homers in that game. Lost it 6-5.
He gave him 5 runs overall. 4 were earned. That ball nearly hit Chase. And it's 2-1. Zimmerman's a former 2nd-round pick in 2007.
Yeah, they got him as a compensation pick for losing Soriano as a free agent. Well, they're really having problems.
Ramos just said it was his fault. He just tapped his chest protector. Chase slices it the opposite way, and it remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies during the month of September have won 13 games. They've pitched well, but they've hit incredibly well, averaging over 6 runs per game. But one of the big numbers is their on-base percentage during this month of September. We talked about it during the opening. Ooh. That ball was smoked into the back end of the dugout.
Got a little out front of a slider.
Guess so. Some of the EMTs sit in that corner. There they are.
They almost had to help each other.
On your toes. 3-2 the count.
They'll be calling for Scott Sheridan and Mark Anderson if they get hurt. That ball could have hurt you.
Milt, our camera operator, moved forward just a little bit down there. Well, the Padres have now taken a 7-4 lead over the Cardinals as Utley shoots one the opposite way. That's the first or second hit of the night for the Phils.
How about who hit the home run? Ryan Ludwig.
Back
in St. Louis, a 3-run home run in the 9th inning.
If you read the papers in St. Louis, a lot of folks are pointing to that trade as being the turning point for the Cardinals' downfall.
And he really hasn't done much for the Padres. But he did tonight.
Well, with 2 outs and a runner at first, here's Ryan Howard. Ryan trying to become the first Philly to have 30 home runs and 100 RBIs in 5 consecutive seasons. He already reached the RBI mark. Last night he was 1 for 3 with a run. The wheels are making him work, and you talk about that not in the sense that you want to hamper his recovering arm, but let's face it, he's probably still a little fatigued coming back. And as he gets more and more fatigued during the course of a ball game, velocity is less, the ball is up.
Yeah, make a mistake. So that's what you hope you can do, is make him work. I mentioned he only went 3 innings his last time out. Threw a lot of pitches. It's good slider. Good movement with his breaking ball. Looks like it's real tight and late. See, this guy's got a chance to be a good one. But they have to get him healthy again.
And he's down on strikes. Howard is, and the side is retired. No runs, a couple of hits. 1 man left for the Phillies. We've completed 1. We go to the second. It's the Nats 1 and the Phils nothing. collectibles, and more. Get your gear straight from the source. ShopThePhillies.com shop. German Heritage Night here at the ballpark. Some of the folks wearing the hats, which we saw earlier in the game from some of the folks that were performing and singing the national anthem. Great rendition of the national anthem tonight. As the Phillies trail at 1-0 here in the top of the second. Justin Maxwell leads it off. And it's no balls at 2 strikes to Maxwell. There's those hats we're talking about. Williams, you think Sarge will walk in with a hat like that?
Somebody will give it to him.
I don't know if he has green.
You never know. Be a good look for him.
Maxwell this year is hitting $145 with 3 home runs.
Kyle Kendrick gets the 8-9-1 here now. You know, they so hope he can just settle into some kind of a groove and calm everything down. Did a good job to get out of that first inning with just 1.
Thought he had that one. It just missed off the outside corner. A lot of times it's difficult to anticipate Angel Hernandez's strike call because he rises up the same way if it's a ball or a strike and then puts his arm up if it's a strike. Little number up the third base line. That'll trickle foul. Nationals have won 62 games this year. They've lost 85. They began the season with 20 wins in their first 35 games. So Jim Riggleman thought, well, maybe we've got this thing turned around a little bit. They had some pretty good prospects coming through, combined with Adam Dunn and Ryan Zimmerman and Josh Willingham. But since beginning 20-15, they're 42-70.
Willingham really was a big loss for them. He's hitting that 5-hole. You know, he was a threat to hit the ball at the ballpark at any time. Great fastball hitter. And since he's been gone, you have to think that really hurt their lineup.
The numbers are fairly close.
Yeah.
Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Kendrick. That looked like a changeup from Kyle.
Was. Tom said it's a changeup, and he throws it to a right-handed hitter there. And, you know, he got him way out in front. That guy has a big, big swing. He's the kind of guy you throw that kind of pitch to and get him to chase him.
Here's Jordan Zimmerman. Zimmerman is hitless this year in the big leagues. 1 for 5 down in the minors this year in AAA.
4 for 32 lifetime with a couple RBIs.
And it's no balls at 2 strikes to him. Top of the order, Danny Espinosa. Taking some practice swings. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And it's chopped up the third base line, foul. Phillies have won 5 consecutive games. It's the 5th time this year that they've won 5 straight or more. And what a great time to put together this kind of a stretch. Zimmerman's putting together a pretty good at bat, at least in terms of length. a base hit for Zimmerman. He drilled it into center field. Victorino cuts it off. Zimmerman wasn't running that hard, so he'll hold up at first. A 1-out single. And that's the 3rd hit of the night for the Nationals. So the pitchers aboard and back to the top of the order for Danny Espinosa. Espinosa singled and scored his first time up. Second time this year that we've run across a young player in the National League East that in the 10 days prior to his call-up, they moved him from one position to another. Logan Morrison from the Florida Marlins was a first baseman. And a week before his promotion, the Marlins moved him to left field.
Need. And in this case, you know, maybe they're thinking about, we need a second baseman.
Well, and it's not as difficult a transition. He moved from shortstop to second base.
Because this guy's an infielder, not Riggleman. Well, he was too. But Espinosa was an infielder. But your point being first base to the outfield, that's a big difference.
And the Nationals think that, you know, if Ian Desmond needs some time, then Espinosa can slide back over and play short. But in the future, this might be the double play combination for the Nationals.
They really like this kid's bat, too.
1-1 the count to him.
Ooh.
People in the first row almost liked his bat, too. Fortunately, the net was there. Email, text, Twitter, and Facebook 24/7. CSNPhilly.com is your most complete source for the latest news on the Phillies and their drive for another title. Michael Vick and the Eagles as they prepare for the Lions, and the Flyers as they start training for the season. Text alerts to 53695 or sign up for alerts at CSNPhilly.com. Opposite way. Ibanez moves back a few steps. There are 2 outs.
You know, idea. Talking to Wade Taylor, who's a scout for the Nationals, and one thing he told me, he said about Espinosa, he's got surprising power, the potential, they think, and that ball jumped off his bat to the opposite field. Gives you a little idea of some of the things he may be able to do at some point.
Plus, he's a switch hitter, which is a nice commodity to have for a leadoff batter.
Oh, it's always great to be able to switch it and never have the ball come around you. How much fun would that be? Anybody's ever tried to play baseball and think about the ball not coming around you? Oh, that would be nice.
Desmond tried to check, but he went around on the first pitch.
Here's his triple in the first inning. Okay, he was going to set up a big inning. Fought that one off down the line. It took kind of a crazy bounce on Jason Worth down there. Both those guys ran well, Espinosa and Desmond. But that's all they got.
Kyle worked out of a bases loaded jam in the first. He's allowed a base runner here. A 1-out single to Jordan Zimmerman.
Well, it took a long time to get through that first inning, but only giving up 1 run was really a plus.
They have broken his bat to the left side. Valdez has it. The short way to second. For the Nationals, no runs, 1 hit, 1 man left here in the second. Coming up for the Phils, and when we return, Jason Worth, Raul Ibanez, and Carlos Ruiz. For next year's ball girls. That's right. Represent the organization in the community and on the field for the 2011 season. The Phillies are looking for softball players with outgoing personalities and strong interpersonal skills like Mackenzie. You can submit a 2-minute DVD highlighting your softball experience and why you should be considered to the Phillies. Citizens Bank Park, 1 Citizens Bank Way, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 19148. Attention ball girl applicant. Must be 18 years old or older. The deadline for submissions is October 4th. No phone calls, please. Jason Worth leads it off here in the bottom of the second. That was a tough first strike right there. 92 on the outside part of the plate, and it's 0-1. Jason was 2 for 4 last night with a home run. That home run was his 22nd of the year. Picked up a couple RBIs. He now has 72. Jason has walked 74 times this year, which is why his on-base percentage is so good. He had 91 walks last year, and it's 3-2. Jason's also 2 runs away from tying his career high, which came last year. 98 runs scored a season ago. And he stays alive with another foul ball. He's really the only Philly right now who is on pace to pick up 100 runs scored.
Here's a home run last night. Olsen was a pitcher. Scott Olsen. The Phillies seen a lot of him over the years. Trying to come inside with a fastball there and missed his spot. And Jason hit that thing hard. Out of here in a hurry.
Jason hit a home run. Carlos Ruiz hit a home run, even with the wind blowing in as hard as it was last night.
We have a totally different night here tonight. Still beautiful.
In the air to left field. That one's pretty well hit. Bernadina's going back to the warning track. Gone! Jason Worth has just tied this baby up. 23rd home run, second straight game with a home run. It's a 1-1 ball game.
All right, hanging breaking ball. He stayed back pretty well on it. See what he does here. Look at 3-2. Yeah, a slider out over the plate. Real short swing there, too. And you know, he started to get fooled on a little bit, but held back, hung back enough, and popped it.
And not only that home run ties the ball game, but it makes Michael Babenko of Clayton, Delaware, a winner in our McDonald's home run jackpot. Michael just won $100. And here's Raul Ibanez. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Raul. 97 runs scored now for Jason. And Raul Ibanez is aboard. 4th hitter of the night for the Phillies.
One of the reasons why he's hitting so much better, he's wearing out the middle of the diamond, too. He had a hit there last night. He's been getting a lot of hits towards the middle of the field. And when you do that, then you're going to pull the ball once in a while. You're going to hit it the other way hard. I always say it sounds easy, but it isn't. When you're in trouble, when you're in a slump, trying to hit the ball back through the middle, get you out of it, and it does. But it always sounds easier than to do it.
Well, here's Carlos Ruiz, a 300 hitter, trying to become the first Phillies catcher since Mike Lieberthal to hit 300 or better in a season. Ball and 1 strike.
Zimmerman looks uncomfortable out there right now. You see he's pawing at the mound or at the rubber, in front of it, behind it. He just spun off of there in his delivery. He's done that a couple times. Here's Carlos Ruiz's home run last night. Another ball that was hit really hard. Joe Vicenius, the former Philly, fastball at 97, and he tattooed that one deep to left center field. 2-run homer.
That home run for Carlos last night is 8th of the year. Hits that one hard right past Sam Perlazzo.
Got Sam's attention.
Got everybody's attention. They were happy that it was low because it scooted along the warning track a little bit.
Done a really good job coaching third for the Phillies the last couple of years. Now those signs he's going through right now, all that somewhere in there involved a hold at first base, because normally on a 3-2 with no outs or 1 out, they'll run automatically. And the third base coach will go through those signs and say hold. And they did hold there. Now, if you don't get the hold, obviously you run. And you're not running to steal the bag. You're running to, you're running on the count to stay out of a double play, to be in motion. Charlie's one of those guys that won't always start guys. Doesn't like to start guys a lot of times with nobody out, because then you get the line drive double play to deal with. But there you go. Whatever those signs were, somewhere in there may be a hold.
Towards center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Back-to-back singles for the Phils following the home run by Jason Worth. The Phillies have something rolling here in the second with nobody out.
Well, they're getting some good swings at Zimmerman, and they're doing just what we hoped they would do. We put that in the scouting report, was work the count with him. Good approach tonight. Carlos ran a deep count, then got a fastball to hit. A lot of top spin on that ball, so it came down in a hurry. He got a base hit out of it.
So he's aboard. Ibanez is at second. Here's Wilson Valdez. Wilson riding a 5-game hitting streak. Playing shortstop again tonight for the injured Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy is getting closer. I know we sound like a broken record with that. Charlie Manuel said today that he just doesn't think he's 100%, so he doesn't want to take a chance just yet. And as everybody's been saying the last couple of days, Wilson's been swinging a hot bat, playing well defensively. And he lines one to left field. That's another base hit. That one's going to roll to the wall. Ibanez scores. Here comes Ruiz. He's held at third. It's an RBI double for Valdez, and he looks like he's hurt. Oh, boy. I think Valdez may have turned his ankle going around first. It's an RBI double. It's 2-1 Phillies. Oh. Will the injury stop at any time? That's a shame. He's pointing. Well, he's pointing at Adam Dunn, telling Davey Lopes that Adam Dunn's bringing his equipment.
Well, there he got a slider. Did a good job with it. Yep, slip coming around there. Oh, did he just grab the back of his leg?
I think he did. Oh, no. He doesn't want to come out, so he's staying in.
But when he slipped, it looked like he just reached for the back of his leg, and we all know what that is by now. That's a hammy.
Well, that's what's bothering Jimmy Rollins. Jimmy, by the way, took batting practice left-handed and right-handed today. The big thing with Jimmy is that he hasn't run at full speed just yet. That's what's holding him up, and hopefully he'll be back sometime in the next couple of days. But Valdez has been unbelievable.
Yeah, and he just something made him slip when he went around the bag. There's Jimmy, what Tom's talking about.
That's early hitting, and then he took regular BP. I guess he took regular BP right-handed.
Yeah, and he hit with a group with with the extra men tonight. See a lot of people don't get to see a lot of the home batting practice. Of course, at the time the gates open, there's Jimmy right there. But guys, the starting lineup will hit last in 2 groups. Charlie's saying, "Listen, son,
got to get you back.
That leg's bothering my man out there at second. I'm going to need you soon."
Well, Charlie said that he would probably use Jimmy in a game-winning situation. One swing could win the ball game. The Nationals play the infield in with Kendrick up and nobody out. The Phillies up 2-1. Kendrick takes a healthy hack at the first pitch.
Just going to watch Valdez back there. He's done a little stretching, reaching down, touch his toes. And, he probably felt something in the back of back of his leg. Look at his right leg, and hopefully it's very mild.
One ball, 1 strike to count to Kyle.
Zimmerman's really getting hurt on some high breaking balls in this inning. Kendrick's the kind of guy who can hit a fly ball once in a while. But, there's nobody out right now. You're not going to ground into a double play. So, even if he strikes out, you still have Shane coming up and then Polanco. They don't want to give up any runs to a pitcher hitting by playing the infield back.
Swing and a miss, and Kyle is down on strikes. 1 away. Still 2 runners in scoring position. Second strikeout for Jordan Zimmerman. Pat Listash and Jim Riggleman align the defense. They're letting the guys know that they want them to play in. Now they're going to push Espinosa back a little bit in second. Craig Stammen, the right-hander, is up and loosening in the bullpen for the Nationals. There's Stammen. And Shane takes breaking ball for a strike.
Sam Perlaza talking to Carlos Ruiz before that at bat began about whether they're going to go on contact. There's a sign for it, but you like to go over and tell your base runner too.
I think if it goes to the right side toward Espinosa, he'll go. To the left side, he may hold because Desmond's in a little shorter, has a better arm.
Yeah, it just depends. If you're going strictly on contact,
you're going.
You just go.
Right.
And they may not because they still have Polanco to hit.
1-2 the count to Shane.
Sometimes contact's dictated by a lot of things. But in some cases, it's dictated by, even though there would be 2 outs, who's on deck? Who's your hitter going to be? Do you have confidence in that guy with 2 outs? And they certainly would with Polanco. So the point being that they may not go on contact here. And you don't have a good runner at third either.
Swing and a miss, and Victorino is down on strikes. It's the second straight strikeout for Zimmerman. 2 outs, and they'll leave it for Polanco.
He threw him a really good curveball here, and he chased it.
Polly grounded back to the mound his last time up. 1 for 6 here in the series. Polanco, a lifetime .303 hitter, and for much of this year he was at or above that .303 mark. His average now is at .299.
Coming up on 50 pitches already for Jordan Zimmerman, not out of the second inning.
It doesn't seem like either starting pitcher is going to be long for this game.
No, long inning for him right now. Right, and both teams have a lot of pitchers available at least.
outside.
Well, they're not pitching around him either. It's not like they went up there.
The breaking pitch, and it's 3-2.
Well, he's gotten hurt with his slider in this inning, so he's throwing some curveballs now. The one that Victor Reno struck him out, he just threw a 3-1 curveball to Polanco, and you see how far out in front of him he got. Actually was fortunate there that he just tipped that off the end of the bat. If he'd put that ball in play, it probably would have been a week out somewhere.
Yeah, they've been right back to the mound again.
Yeah, just wouldn't have gone very far because he was really full.
Phillies have scored 2 in the inning, try to get some more.
Somebody will look out up at this game and wonder whether they have a rain delay.
Well, if they had MLB at that 2010, they would know that there has been over 100 pitches thrown already.
And they're not through 2.
Toward the hole at shortstop. Desmond has got it. And the side is retired. The Phillies leave a couple. They get a couple. A home run by Jason Worth. An RBI double by Wilson Valdez. And the Phillies will take a 1-run lead to the top of the 3rd. Jason's second home run in as many nights. It's 2-1 Phils. Go to the fans section for all the information, and please submit your answer on the subject line. Wheels, the question is, name the Washington Nationals roving hitting instructor that replaced Mike Schmidt at third base for the Phils in May of 1985. The answer will be revealed in the 7th inning. Oh, you know this one. We see this guy everywhere.
Yeah, I know it. You're right, but if I had to tell you right now, I couldn't.
One of those that's on the tip of your tongue?
Oh, I can see him.
Oh. You got it?
I'm not sure. I'll tell you in the 7th.
Ryan Zimmerman leads it off. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Top of the 3rd, Phillies lead it 2-1. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Ryan Zimmerman has put together some pretty good production with the count 2-0. And it's 2-1. Wheels, I don't know if you noticed the last couple of weeks, but your responsibility of giving our friend Ed here in the press box the lineup, the burden has become stronger. Did you know that?
No. Why?
Because our good friend Carlos Morales from El Hispano, a Spanish newspaper, was in a car accident on the 27th of August, and Carlos is recovering in Einstein Hospital.
That's a great guy, too, Carlos.
Great guy, and we wish Carlos the best, and we hope he gets back here real soon.
Really.
One of the nicest people you'll ever cross paths with.
Loves baseball, loves to talk the game,
and loves to beat you upstairs with the lineup. I don't know about that, but he always had it.
Yeah, he helps. If I don't have it, then Ed will go to him.
In the air to straightaway center field. Victorino, a long run. Turned his back, now finds the ball. One away. So, Carlos, if you're watching, let's hope you get back to the ballpark very quickly. There's Ed and Alex. Ed is to your right. Alex is to your left. These guys help everybody out here in the press box. Ed does some tours here at the press box. Alex, during the offseason, will guard the clubhouse and help give some tours. Phillies have been very lucky over the years. The press box attendants have been wonderful, wonderful people.
Yeah, had Art Cassidy for so many years. He's retired now.
Charlie Rowan.
I worked with Ed at WCAU radio back in the 60s.
Did you?
Yeah. He was part of our softball team.
Could he hit?
I don't remember much about that team. Except that they used to send an airplane up to Penn State, pick me up, fly me down to play. And the only reason was because I was young. That was when Jack Downey ran the team, and Jack was very serious about things. Really missed Jack. We lost him a few years ago. What a great guy. Had the wonderful restaurant down on Front Street, which is still there, of course. Downey's is still there, but that was Jack loved that place, and he was a general manager at WCAU radio back in the 60s.
Fly ball, shallow left center field. Victorino calls off Ibanez, and Kyle Kendrick has himself a 1-2-3. Top of the third. It's a pretty nice job for Kyle to settle in. The Phillies have the lead. We go to the bottom of the third. By Southwest Airlines. Go to southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Thomas Jefferson University Hospitals. Call 1-800-JEF-NOW. Last of the third. Phillies lead it 2-1. By the way, you can pick up Wheels' book, The View from the Booth, here at the ballpark. If you buy it here at the ballpark, then you can make your way up to the foot of the Hall of Fame Club and toss it up to the booth, and Wheels will sign it for you.
Thank you. That's very nice of you to do that. And that story is in there about the old WCAU days. Sending that plane up to University Park.
Where would it land?
It was just a little airport in those days, Tom. Now they have a jetport out there, for the Big Ten, and they got to fly the jets. Back in those days, it was just a small airport.
I thought maybe they'd landed on campus somewhere.
No. It was out. It was out pretty far. Well, then in those days, it really looked like it was way out because there was nothing between campus and where the airport was. Now it's built up all the way out there. I have to give you a copy of that book.
I've seen that book all over the office.
That came from Jeff. I'm sorry. I gotta throw him under the bus. Our producer, Jeff Halleckman.
3 balls and 1 strike the count to Chase. I don't have all that recall that you have, Wheels.
Yeah, I don't know. Gotta have some strong points, you know.
Chase singled his first time up. And he's aboard for the second time.
He's been getting a lot of good at bats lately. I think the reason probably is he's seen the ball so much better. He's back from the injury. You know, he's had his at bats to shake off the cobwebs, and now he's chased up with it. And his at bats are really good.
Well, with nobody out, here's Ryan Howard. He struck out his first time up. Three infielders on the right side. And Ryan hits it the opposite way. Espinosa not as deep as many second basemen. Not as deep as he usually plays if there's nobody out.
Yeah, they're in a little bit now because of the potential for double play.
Or I should say if there's nobody on.
Right. Yeah, they can, with nobody on, they can play the infielder way out there if they want. But with somebody on base, they got to bring him in a little bit, play a little more honest, and try and get that lead guy at second if possible.
Ryan sends it the opposite way. Bernardina on the run to the warning track, to the wall. Gone! 2-run opposite field home run. Bernardina wasn't pulling that one back. And the Phillies lead it 4-1. And Ryan Howard has become the first Philly in franchise history with 5 straight 30 home run, 100 RBI seasons. That's pretty impressive. Not only that, but he slides Pat Burrell down a notch. And Ryan is now in 3rd place all time with 252 Philly home runs.
Yeah, Del Ennis next, and then a real big number to get after. 548.
That's a huge number.
By Michael Jack. But if anybody can do it, Ryan Howard could.
Second homer of the night for the Phillies.
Hey, Mike never hit 50, and Ryan Howard has hit 50. Mike's high was 48. I think he hit a curveball there. That didn't look like it. Like a normal human being can hit that ball.
Well, the other thing, too, is you remember Bernardina, last time the Nationals were here, pulled one back that Ryan hit the opposite way.
Now, last night, that would have gotten knocked down by the wind.
Probably.
But that thing, maybe we'll see a replay of it. It looked like it was a breaking curveball, something slow.
Wow. 0-2 the count to Jason. Opposite way, caught by Dunn.
Let's see what he hits here. It's a slow breaking ball. He can just go down, drop the head on it.
He knew it.
He knew it.
He knew it. Look at that reaction. Whoop.
Said, I'm home. I know that's out in that spot. And it was. Not by a lot, but it was, and that's all that matters. Boy, he is really something in the month of September. Tulowitzki's just unconscious, but Ryan Howard's having another great September, Tom.
Not only with the home runs, but of course with the RBIs. In fact, Ryan and Chase both have really put together some impressive numbers in the RBI category in September. Chase with 17 RBIs in September. Ryan with 17 RBIs in September. 3 balls, 1 strike the count to Raul, who singled his last time up. Came around to score on the double by Valdez. In the air to left field. That one is well hit. Bernardina's going back again, and he's not going to get that one. Another opposite field home run for the Phillies. And they lead it 5-1. And somebody made a pretty good catch out there.
Jordan Zimmerman's out there saying, didn't you teach me to stay away from pull on guys and you aren't going to get beat to the opposite field too often? Well, this ballpark, in that park, you get it up in the air on a night like this, there's no wind, and it's carrying. Another home run. Nice going by the Phillies, hit 3 tonight.
That gentleman right there with the Champs t-shirt reached up with the glove and made the grab. Almost lost his glasses, nearly lost his hat, but he held on to the ball. He's got one of those Spalding gloves, Wheels.
It's a nice glove. That's an outfielder or pitcher's glove, that's for sure. Look how big it is.
He had it sized up. There were hands everywhere. That lady right there is saying, okay, would you like to take the baseball up? Customer service. Well, maybe get a chance to have Raul Ibanez sign it.
And how about the Phillies once again? They spot the Nats a run, and Kyle Kendrick pitches out of that first inning. And here they come, and there goes that guy to get all that done what you were just talking about.
Great promotion here at the park.
More customer service here.
5-1 Phillies. Carlos Ruiz stands in, and he sends one the opposite way. That one's well hit. Morse going back to the wall and has room. And he makes the catch with a big sigh of relief.
Someone would say, I can't keep these guys in the yard tonight.
Carlos is saying, how come it didn't carry the way the other two did?
It's not easy to hit opposite field home runs. And, you know, that's what he's trying to do right there. Hit one the other way and hit a long way.
Wilson Valdez, a double and an RBI, 11 for his last 30. And it's 2 balls and no strikes.
Good news is he's still in the game, because when he grabbed that leg a little bit going towards second base, it was like, oh no.
Maybe it was a crab.
He's a little tender right now.
Remember the series against the Marlins, Adalberto Mendez had a cramp running up the first base line. It looked like a hamstring injury, and he was fine to pitch his next outing against the Phillies, and Valdez hits it inside the first base bag. Around first, heading to second. Here comes the throw, not in time. Cut off by Espinosa. Another double for Valdez. It looked like he was running okay.
He sure did. That ball was hit. My first thought was, hey, just coast into first and hang on. But he busted it. Has himself another double, as you say. Here it is. A fastball came tailing back into him. Right down the line and gets 2 bases.
And cue the music, Wheels. Valdez is at second, safe and secure, with New York Life.
Phantom of the Opera, Oregon. I love that.
Kyle pops it up. Behind second, Ian Desmond, the shortstop, is there. And the Phillies have to settle for 2 home runs here in the third. Why not? A 2-run home run by Ryan Howard. That was a record breaker the opposite way. And then Raul Ibanez decided to take a page out of Ryan's book. He sent one the opposite way. 5-1 Phils. Office supplies from W.B. Mason. For amazingly low prices on office supplies, furniture, cleaning supplies, kitchen snacks, and Green Mountain coffee. Who but W.B. Mason? Well, we go to the top of the fourth, and look who stopped by the booth. Gary Matthews with the Phillies leading at 5-1.
Hey, I was going to say, you finally got some runs by the time I came here, which feels pretty good. Got some home runs. Guys are squaring the ball up.
Squaring the ball up and hitting it the opposite way.
Well, that's key. Anytime they're hitting the ball the opposite way, they're just close to being just about as perfect as you can be.
Well, so far the Phillies have been fairly perfect offensively. Kyle Kendrick allowed the run in the first. Uh-oh. That ball's hit pretty well by Morse. Jason Worth makes the grab.
Yeah, 5'2" player that he is, starting to hit home runs now. Everybody knows that he can feel the ball. Good arm and a good runner.
That didn't sound good off the bat, Sarge.
Sure didn't. Just hit it to the wrong part of the field. See Jason going back. Has a good beat on it as he jumps up. Played a little basketball, as you know. Could have got back a little bit further, didn't have to jump up. That results is what you're looking for.
Well, what a way. And here's Wilson Ramos. Kyle had a rough first, had a long second inning. In fact, had 52 pitches through the first 2 innings tonight. And then worked a 1-2-3 third. Has 1 out here in the fourth. And it's 2 balls and no strikes. Sarge, opposite field power. We know Ryan Howard has it. Raul Ibanez has it when he's swinging well. What does it mean to be able to hit the ball the opposite way like that?
Well, it shows that you're actually staying on the ball the same way that Ibanez hit the ball out of the ballpark. And when Jason Worth is going really good, he'll hit a lot of balls hard to right field and the center field and almost daring that pitcher to come inside, and it shows that a hitter would be locked in.
I guess the other thing, too, and we saw this with Ryan, you take away the curveball from Zimmerman because that's what he hit.
He hit that and almost hit it with just one hand. Indication of how strong he is.
Over toward third, right past Polanco. And it's a 1-out single for Ramos. So he's aboard. And the number 8 hitter, Justin Maxwell, will come up. Maxwell struck out his first time up. Kyle has struck out 3 so far.
Kyle's at his best when he's getting the ground balls. Not at his best when he's giving up those line drives and long fly balls. Good pitch.
That's the thing about tonight. He hasn't had too many ground balls.
No, and then early on, he was getting the ball kind of up in the zone, belt high, and they were getting pretty good wood on it. He doesn't have that type of stuff that he can continually pitch high in the zone. He's got to be able to pitch down with the sinker, change up, change speeds, and set hitters up.
One ball and 1 strike to Maxwell. He saw Adam Kennedy out in the on-deck circle. Go bat for Jordan Zimmerman. And there you see the distribution of outs for Kyle. Back toward the middle. Chase has got it. On to the second base bag. A 4-3 double play. Third ground ball tonight for Kyle Kendrick, and it was a whopper. Gets him out of any potential trouble here at the top of the fourth. No runs, 1 hit, nobody left for the Nationals. That's because of this double play ball that finishes up the fourth. by your Quality Plus Ford stores, and by WB Mason. Who but WB Mason for amazingly low office product prices? Now we go to the bottom of the fourth here at Citizens Bank Park. Gorgeous night. The new pitcher for the Nationals is right under Craig Stammen, his 31st game. 4-4, a 5.39 earned run average. And he'll take over for Jordan Zimmerman, who lasted 3 innings, allowed 5 runs on 9 hits. Stammen this year has started 19 games, and he's appeared in relief 11 other times. And he'll face the top of the order. It'll be Shane Victorino, Placido Polanco, Chase Utley. The Phillies already with 9 hits through the first 3 innings. Ball and 1 strike to Victorino.
No, without being greedy, though, you really want to start to pick those runners up at third base. And, Shane's been doing a great job in that leadoff spot, but still, you got to pick those easy RBIs up when you can.
To the right side, Espinosa throws out Shane. And 1 gone here in the fourth. I wonder, too, Sarge, when Jimmy does come back, what Charlie will do with the lineup. He may do the same thing this time that he did the last time Jimmy came off the DL. Ease him back in and keep Victorino on leadoff spot. Well, I was thinking about that the other day. But then again, you could look at it the other side, that Victorino's swinging such a hot bat. He might be a nice guy to put in the 6 or 7 hole.
Might leave Victorino right there in that leadoff spot, and because, again, you want that leadoff guy to run. It'll be just the opposite when J-Ro, when he comes in. You want him to run, but not as much as you would leading off. So hitting him back in that lineup would mean he can still be able to play, maybe not run as much. Well, there's that throw again as he's on the run. That's what we were talking about even last night, that he cannot seem to just throw that ball and set himself. He has to be moving. Now watch when he comes in, he's going to continue to move, and he throws it sidearm. And when you throw it like that, you're not going to be very accurate. As you can see, almost pull Big Dunn off of the bag there at first base.
Yeah, if you have a shorter first baseman, that may go right on by.
Oh, no doubt.
It'll be very interesting to see what they do with Ryan Zimmerman this offseason, or what he does to try to get rid of that hiccup over at third. Yeah, he is a talented player.
Well, he sure is. I mean, obviously he can hit. That's just in his head, not being able to throw that ball to third base. He did early on and got him some at least a Gold Glove or 2.
Here's Chase Utley. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike to Chase.
Every time you throw the ball under, the ball's going to sail on you, and you don't know exactly how far it's going to sail. We got umpires all over the ballpark. Balls aren't called the way they should. Fans here will get on the umpire. Nicknamed Blue, they call them all.
Foul ball in and out of the glove of Ramos.
And that's because of all their blue outfits. It's easy to call them Blue. Don't have to remember their names. And umpires obviously don't like that nickname.
I thought it was universal. I thought they all liked that.
You call them that from the dugout, you got a good chance of being thrown out.
Another foul ball. And it remains 1-2 to Chase Utley. Have to admit, Sarge, I had never heard that before, that they don't like to be called Blue.
No, they don't like that name. Kidding me? It's always when you're calling them Blue that they've made a mistake. on one call or another.
So if you don't like the call, do you say, "Come on, Angel"?
Oh boy. Well, they don't like calling them just by their name. They want to get their attention. Most umpires do have rabbit ears, no pun intended.
Alfonso Marquez was the home plate umpire last night.
Just didn't call the low pitch. Called him some.
Chase rips it to right. Morse makes the grab. Chase hit that one right on the nose. One of the harder hit balls in tonight's game. 1, 2, 3 go the Phils. We go on to the 5th. It's a 4-run Phillies lead. Of unique spaces and on-site catering. You can use the Bud Light rooftop, Harry the K's, the Hall of Fame Club. Call 215-218-5100. Call that special events department or log on to Phillies.com/special events. Adam Kennedy will pinch hit for Craig Stammen. Peter and Michelle just got engaged here at the ballpark. Speaking of those special events, I think Michelle was surprised, Sarge.
Well, she looks like it.
Congratulations to Peter and Michelle. Adam Kennedy was a pinch hitter in last night's ball game. Overall, he's hitting .250. And it's 1 ball and 2 strikes to him.
Got robbed last night on a potential base hit. Valdez making a tremendous play off of a ball that he hit up the middle. The pitcher's glove came in and fielded it with that strong arm of his. Kind of surprised Riggleman didn't have more left-handed hitters in the lineup tonight. Well, the left-handed hitters are the ones that give Kyle Kendrick the most problems. Stuck in a few of his right-handed batters.
Back toward the middle. And Kyle with a softball toss over to Ryan Howard. 1 away here in the 5th. Yeah, I agree with you. I expected Willie Harris would play. I thought maybe Espinosa would move over to short. Kennedy would play second.
Just to have hitters from that left side, especially from a pitcher that you're counting on control. Kyle has seemed to settle down here now and getting those ground balls, a little bit more control. Maybe he's a little nervous when he first starts.
I was just going to ask you that, Sarge. If a 5-1 lead has calmed him down a little bit.
Oh, absolutely. When you get those runs, you know, the pressure kind of comes off of you some, where you know if you make a mistake here or there that, you know, it's not as big of a problem. But you see his splits, 75 pitches so far.
Oh, and 1 the count to Espinosa. And it's 0-2. That pitch came right back over the inside part of the plate. To the right side, and Ryan Howard scoops it up on the short hop. 2 outs, and now the ground balls are coming for Kyle Kedrick, and that's a good sign. Hey, every time the Phillies retire the opposing team in order, and Kyle was able to do it back in the 3rd. Comcast makes a contribution to Phillies charities. Phillies baseball is brought to you by the Xfinity Triple Play, your complete lineup for digital TV, high-speed internet, and home phone. Rich Dubé came out in the 1st inning early, and I thought it was going to be a stern talking to, but it was more of just a talk. And after that, Kyle threw some more changeups to the Nationals hitters, and that got him through the 1st. And now he's going to have a pretty quick top of the 5th. 1, 2, 3 go the Nationals. 3 ground balls. That's a great sign. We go to the bottom of the 5th with the Phils up 4 and Ryan Howard due to lead it off. He's in charge of the merchandising here at the ballpark, and what he wants you to do is stop by the Majestic Clubhouse store here at the ballpark. It's the one-stop shop for everything Phillies. Apparel, caps, novelties, DVDs, the Fanatic Attic, and much more. It's open Monday through Saturday, 10 a.m. until 6 p.m. And at all home games, make the Majestic Clubhouse store your year-round home for official Phillies merchandise. There he is, Scott Bradner with the goatee. New pitcher for the Washington Nationals is Ross Detweiler. Saw Doug Slayton very early last night. Detweiler is built a lot like Doug Slayton. He's on for his 6th game, 0-2 at 2.65 earned run average. He's a former starting pitcher, Sarge. No, and the Nationals have a lot of these guys. Yeah, that's what Riggleman is doing. He has guys that are coming in that can give him some innings, not just one inning pitchers. Well, they can go 2, 3, or even 4 innings. And anytime they get a chance to face left-handers or to put left-handers in against our left-handed hitters, that's what most of the managers do around the league. It'll be Ryan Howard, Jason Worth, and Raul Ibanez. Lefty, righty, lefty for the Phillies, who lead at 5-1 here in the bottom of the 5th. And it's 2 balls and no strikes to Ryan. Well, that's what they want. They get the middle of the lineup to start to supply power. That's where
you end up getting 3-run homers, 2-run homers, and able to catch up on teams that have that advantage on you. Sure has been amazing, though, in September, the way that they start to hit the ball and hit the ball consistently. We'll take a look at this home run by Howard in the 30. Almost one-hands that, but he knows it's gone when he hits it just because of the sound. Indication of just how strong he is going the opposite way.
Checked his swing, 3-2. September numbers this year: 6 home runs, 17 runs batted in. We mentioned it before. If not for Troy Tulowitzki, I think folks would be talking more about Ryan Howard.
Boy, he's on fire.
Ball 4. So a runner aboard to lead off the 5th. Jim Riggleman had Jordan Zimmerman start tonight. He allowed 5 runs on 9 hits. Then Craig Stammen pitched a scoreless 4th. And now it's Ross Detweiler. And it's 0-1 to Jason, who lined to first his last time up, homered back in the 2nd.
He's starting to hit the ball a little bit more with consistency, an indication of that line drive that he hit for the out.
To right center field, towering shot. On the run is the center fielder Maxwell, and he makes the grab as he goes into the scoreboard. Toward the end of the bat a little too much?
Well, I tell you, I thought he had a pretty good swing on that and maybe just didn't get it. But there again is an indication that he is finally coming around the way that he should. He is a streaky hitter. Now check this out. Just on the end a little bit. Other than that, the ball's way out of here. See, I got it. But he's swinging better, staying in there better, even though that was, left-handed pitcher, still driving that ball the opposite way.
Well, now Ibanez, who has his average up to 271. 15 home runs, including 1 in his last at bat, 75 RBIs. Raul's also scored 70 runs. And it's 0-2.
Watch this backswing as he gets hit right over there on the top of the head. That's why those catchers wear those hard helmets. That is for protection.
Line drive, base hit for Ibanez. Howard had to move away from that liner, so he'll stop at second. I thought Raul was 3 for 3 tonight.
Wow, that was just a bullet as he pitched on a breaking ball. The one thing about Ibanez, even when he's not swinging the bat well, he's still taking pitches, but he is swinging well now.
How about 10 or more hits in 8 of their last 11 games?
Wow. Here it is again. Howard has to look out as this ball comes right by him. That's the reason why he couldn't get to third base. Ball hit so hard, and he had to let the ball go through.
Yeah, Howard would have gotten a third if he had a clean break from first. And here's Carlos Ruiz, 1 for 2. Hit one to the wall. But his last time up, singled his first time up, and it's 1 ball and no strikes.
He's getting a lot smarter at the plate. You could tell the confidence that Carlos Ruiz has. Just hasn't been swinging at a lot of bad pitches and squaring up most of the pitches that he swings at.
Tonight on Sports Night, get highlights and analysis of this ball game, plus the latest from the Eagles as Michael Vick and the Birds prepare for the Lions. And we're in Voorhees with reports from Flyers training camp. All this and more on Toyota Sports Night after the ball game right here on Comcast Sports Night. He's leading 5-1 here in the bottom of the fifth, threatening for some more. 2-1 the count to Ruiz. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Those are all-star numbers right there for Ruiz. That's what he's done since the all-star game.
Been very consistent, and you look at his RBIs, you might think that it's not a lot, but he's hit most of those when they really needed them the most. Tying up ball games or going ahead is Chad Durbin warming up there in the bullpen. Hard to get a seat out there now. So many players there.
In the air to left center field. That's pretty well hit. Bernardino going back into the alleyway. So is Maxwell. The center fielder Maxwell makes the catch. And everybody retreats. Boy, that's a pretty good swing.
2 balls just being missed from going out of the ballpark. Maxwell, a pretty good fielder there too, center fielder, as he goes back and catches those balls from right center to left center. Take a look at this, and Carlos almost hits this ball off, catching it on the end a little bit. Ball carries and carrying. It is carrying tonight. Makes an easy catch out of it and gets it back in.
Well, now 2 gone for Wilson Valdez. Wilson 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. His average at 258. It's the highest his average has been since the 4th of July. Has an RBI tonight. And it's 1 ball and no strikes.
Well, he's really held his own at shortstop and taken over for Jimmy Rollins in the games that he's come in to play.
Liner to right. That one sailed on Morse, but he makes the grab. And the Phillies lead 2, and Morse says wow as he puts it away. We played 5 here at Citizens Bank Park. The Phils leading by 4 as we go to the 6th. When Roy Oswalt, Cole Hamels, and Doc Halladay are on the mound, bats disappear. At the end of July, this duo of ours became a trio of terror for opposing hitters. Control, domination, determined, and astonishing is just the beginning of the ways to describe their performances. Like the triangle, visitors have been approaching with caution. And that unknown is brought to you by Independence Blue Cross. We're here for you every step of the way.
Well, Halliday, Oswalt, Hamels. How about Kyle Kendrick tonight? He allowed a run in the first inning. He wasn't sharp the first 2 innings, but then the Phillies scored 5 runs in the second and third. 2 in the second, 3 in the third. And Kyle has been sharp since then. He's allowed 1 hit since the second. And he'll go to work here in the 6th against Ryan Zimmerman, Adam Dunn, and Roger Bernardina. And Sarge, I would think with a short leash, Chad Durbin was warming up before, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, he was warming up. I thought maybe, didn't know if they were going to try and pinch hit at that time if he came up. But this is a big inning here for him to hopefully get him out 1, 2, 3. It just gives him more confidence when he's able to do that. Good movement, good pitch.
0-2 the count to Zimmerman, who is 0 for 1. Flied out to fairly deep center his first time, or his last time up. Over toward third, a fair ball. Alfonso Marquez had his arm out from the get-go, and Zimmerman pulls into second with a double. Ball looked like it rolled right over the bag. 30th double of the year for Zimmerman.
Well, it shows you what a good hitter he is. That was a ball that he actually hit as that goes right down the line. It went foul, though, bounce foul, so it had to go over the bag. In fair territory.
Dunn is 0 for 2. Struck out his first time up, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Well, Kyle continues to throw first pitch strikes. He's done it a majority of the time tonight. 19 of the 22 batters have received a first pitch strike. One ball and 1 strike.
Yeah, I thought he was trying to waste that pitch to Ryan Zimmerman, and he hit that ball that was almost, well, at least lower, I think a lot lower than the knees, almost on the ground there as he picked it up and hit it down that left field line. I don't know if Dunn is saying that's high or inside, but it appeared to have plenty of plate. Now has good movement where that ball on the left-handed hitter seems to be moving back on that inside corner.
And it remains 1 ball and 2 strikes. The way things are set up for the rest of the year, with the Phillies having right now off days this Thursday, the following Thursday, before the last series in Atlanta, they may not need the number 5 starter that much more, depending on how they want to set it up. Towering pop-up, third base side, it's a foul territory, and Polanco makes the catch.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I've been saying that for a week now, that you could go to that 4-man rotation. You know, obviously you don't want to do that the start of the season, but this is a time when it's down the stretch they go.
And it's a 4-man rotation, Sarge, with everybody having their normal rest.
With those off days you're talking
Correct.
about. Yeah.
But if Kyle does happen to pitch, and he's going to be needed at least 1 more time, it's going to be an important ball game, because every game from here on out is important.
Oh, they're all important. There's no doubt about it, and especially the way that Atlanta has been playing and the way that they play against the Fighting Phils. 6 games left against the Atlanta Braves, and those are huge games, and believe me, they're thinking about those and still trying to stay close, just to trying to stay in the rear view mirror here.
1-1 the count to Roger Bernardina, who's 0 for 2. Five innings against the Mets. Kyle allowed 2 runs. 1 run here in 5 1/3. As a runner in scoring position with 1 out there in the top of the 6th. Line drive caught by Chase Utley. Flips to second, not in time. Either way, Zimmerman was going back to second.
Well, it's a good play there. See that ball picked by Chase Utley. He tries to get it back. Take Zimmerman out. He does get back. Give him good base running. Again, when that's the line drive, you want to freeze. He actually had his momentum going the other way, but regrouped and got back to second base.
So he'll dust himself off. 2 outs here in the top of the 6th. And Mike Morse, who's 0 for 1, walked his first time up, hit one to the fence his last time up. Not a bad idea, because you're probably going to, when it gets to the meat of the count, work Morse away.
Good point. Well, you like him throwing in. You like him moving the hitter's feet. Don't want the hitter feeling comfortable at the plate. You never come in. They never fear any ball will come in. So they look for the ball out over the plate.
Toward third, under the glove of Polanco, and into left field. A base hit for Morse, an RBI, and it's a 5-2 game. Well, he got a ground ball. Just got it in a spot where the defense couldn't come up with it.
Yeah, that was a pretty good pitch. Got to give credit to the hitter to be able to hit that pitch that was going in. Polanco just out of the reach of him. There it is again. A little top spin on it. Just trying to knock it down, and if he had him, the run wouldn't have scored.
Ramos is 1 for 2. In the air to right center field. Victorino and Worth. Jason calls off Shane, and the side is retired. So Kyle allows a run here in the 6th on 2 hits. He leaves 1. He's through 6. We're through 5.5. It's 5-2 Phillies. Go to Southwest.com. Grab your bag. It's on. And by Toyota, it's the Now's the Time sales event at your Toyota dealer. Hurry, offer ends soon. Great night here at the ballpark. It's been a great day all around the complex here in South Philadelphia. The Temple Owls beat UConn earlier today in football. That was a big win for Al Golden's squad.
It's an upset.
And Sarge, you were across the way for the fundraiser for the police officers earlier today. How'd that go? As Francisco leads it off as a pinch hitter and sends one to center. And Justin Maxwell makes the catch.
Yeah, actually, Larry Anderson and I went over, and it was obviously for a good cause. A lot of people were there. Really surprised for the fire department and the police department.
Yep.
On their motorcycles. A lot of German Shepherd dogs over there, and they were going through a lot of different various training aspects of what they do, but it was quite interesting. Really.
Good for you guys. It was busy around here when we arrived at the ballpark. Not only was the campaign going on across the way, but the football game was an early start. Shane Victorino gets a chance to bat right-handed here against Detweiler. 1 for 3. He singled his first time up. And it's 1 ball and 1 strike.
Well, Kyle Kendrick's job is over with tonight, and he did exactly what they wanted him to do.
Well, give him credit. After that first inning, really after the second inning, the fact that he was able to keep his pitch count at a pretty good level after throwing, I think it was 52 pitches the first 2 innings. That's pretty good.
Well, it was real good, and really, again, that first inning, they had a runner on third base, nobody out, no one else scored. So he's got to be happy with that performance, and I'm sure Rich Doobie, pitching coach, pretty happy about it.
Victorino leans into one. Second hit of the night for Shane. Well, after giving up a run in the top of the first, Kyle Kendrick had to get the meat of the order out. First, Adam Duck. Pretty good pitch there, Sarge.
Yeah, it sure was a hard sinker. And another one down. Guys, you got Bernardina. And there's a ground ball there. Chase Utley gets. The Ravens coming into your pitcher. So that was a tremendous job in actually stopping the bleeding.
Worked out of a bases loaded jam after allowing that first run.
There's his numbers there.
Down the right field line. Slicing. Foul. There's a happy little guy.
Yep.
Whoop. Yeah, dusts it off. One ball and 1 strike to Polanco. 0 for 3. He's grounded out 3 times. His average at 298. It's below 300 for the first time since the 14th of May. I don't imagine it's going to stay under 300.
Well, he's really too good of a hitter. And a lot of times here lately, even the balls he's hit hard has been right at the fielder, so he hasn't gotten any results. But he continues to stay up the middle and the other way. What he doesn't want to do is start to force it and hit those fly balls. He's a line drive hitter.
2-1.
That's one of the reasons Jason's Worth average has stayed where it is, because he gets those walks. And with his speed, he's been able to beat out some balls that he hasn't hit very well. But those walks will keep your average there and save you at the end of the year, too.
Over towards shortstop. That might be 2. Desmond is second for 1. Espinosa turns the double play. So after the single by Shane Victorino, Detweiler gets the ground ball double play. We go to the 7th. It's 5-2 Phillies.
music in the background as we check out the Verizon Wireless game summary. The Phillies with 2 in the second, 3 in the third, 3 long balls tonight, and a lot of loud outs. But they haven't scored since that third inning, even though they hit the ball really hard. Kyle Kendrick, 6 innings. He got out that first inning, gave him 6 solid innings tonight, a chance to win the game. And the Phillies will turn it over to right-hander Chad Derby, Tom, and this guy has pitched a lot.
He has pitched a lot. 60th ball game for Chad. He pitched in last night's game. Pitched a scoreless 7th in relief for Roy Oswalt. And he's on to face the bottom of the order, but it'll be a couple pinch hitters. Willie Harris is the first pinch hitter for the Nationals. It'll be Harris. It looks like Alberto Gonzalez. And then the top of the order. 5-2 Phillies. Braves have already won today. They've taken the first 2 games from the Mets. So a win tonight, and the Phillies remain 3 games up in the division. And that's all they care about. Just stay ahead of Atlanta. Atlanta will be in town for 3 beginning Monday. Charlie Manuel a couple weeks ago said first place is the only way to live. And he's been in first place a lot during his managerial career. First with the Indians, now with the Phillies. Two and 1 the count to Harris. 3 and 1. And ball 4. Harris is aboard with a leadoff walk. Jared Durbin started his outing last night the same way. He walked the leadoff batter, Willie Harris, and then was able to get the next 3 hitters. Third pitch hitter used by Jim Riggleman. Gonzalez has a lot of at-bats this year. 145 and only 4 RBIs. It's kind of odd. A lot of it is because of where he bats in the order.
Right. You know, it's one of those things when you hear numbers like that, you have to watch a team all year. And then you know why. Is it his ineffective, or as you say, is it the spot in the lineup, or guys aren't on in front of him? You know, numbers can mean a lot, or other times they can mean nothing because you haven't seen the guy play.
Up high, 1 and 2.
This game far from over. The Phillies kind of gave up a run last inning. As you look at the American League playoff chase there, with the Yankees winning and Tampa Bay losing, and those two are going back and forth for jockeying for position.
That's when you know it's late, Wheels. New graphics. Yankees lead the division by a half a game over Tampa. Yankees have only won 2 games on this 9-game road trip that they're on.
Yeah, they were down to 1 strike last night. They won that game when Rodriguez hit a 3-run homer with 2 strikes in the 9th inning.
There you go. Red Sox are 7 games back. 6.5 behind the Rays for the wild card. And it's now 2-2 to Gonzalez. In the Central, well, I hate to say it's all but over, but it's all but over.
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota won today. The White Sox lost again today. They've lost 5 straight. Swing and a miss, and Gonzalez is a strikeout victim. Good changeup. So in the Central, Minnesota leads the White Sox by 10. And Detroit by 14. Well, these lucky fans are tonight's Citizen 7. They will each receive a prize pack courtesy of Citizens Bank. Citizens Bank, with the most 7-day branches in the Philadelphia area. To find a branch near you, visit citizensbank.com. One away, top of the order, Danny Espinosa. 1 for 3. You know, it's odd with everything going on in the Central and the American League. The American League West has gotten a little closer than the Central. I mean, it's pretty much over, too. The Rangers have a 9-game lead.
Yeah, you're going to have colossal collapse in both those divisions for somebody else to have to finish first. And the wild card is going to come out of the East. So you almost know who's going to play,
right?
Unless something strange happens. Who's going to play for the American League? It's just who's going to be the wild card. You know, who wins the Yankees or the Rays, and the other team will be the wild card. Not so in the National League.
Well, the National League, it's a logjam, and it's because of the West. The Braves lead the wild card by a 1.5 over San Diego, 2.5 over Colorado, and 8 games over St. Louis. The logjam is because Colorado and San Diego are battling not only for the wild card but also for the division.
Yeah. And of course in the East, Phillies and the Braves.
Swing and a miss. I think Espinosa's out.
That was a third strike, wasn't it?
I thought it was. I think he's out.
That's the third strike.
Look at Ray Oswald knows.
Espinosa, the only guy that doesn't know that was a third strike. That's got to be a little embarrassing because he's looking over at his dugout and nobody's helping him right now. You know, it's not like they're yelling out. Now here they're going to talk about it.
Jim Riggleman's going to come out.
Well, maybe he's right. I thought that was the third strike.
I thought it was the third strike too. I just saw Angel Hernandez say, I have no idea what he's thinking, what he's talking about. He saw 3 pitches, 3 strikes.
Oh, wow. He just said, Roy Oswald, that was a great shot. As calm and cool as he is, he's going, that's 3, buddy. You know, you only get 3.
Yep. Here we go. Here's the final one. Now we know this was a strike.
Yeah, that's another changeup.
He's like, all right, I got 2 strikes on me. I'm okay. Look at his reaction right there. I'm out. Jim Riggleman came back out again. Somebody must have said to him, you know, that may have been just strike 2. Well, 2 away. And here's Ian Desmond. He's 1 for 3. And that's 1 ball and no strikes. Outside, Desmond looks like he's waiting for a strike, and it's 2-0.
Of course, the home plate umpire has that indicator. The other umpires, you know, they don't.
I always thought that one other umpire had an indicator, but you're right. Here's the sequence. That's 1. He probably thought that was a ball.
Yeah, maybe he didn't think that was a strike. Strike 2.
That's a strike.
That was 3 pitches.
Whoop. I think the first pitch he thought was a ball.
I guess.
Little cue shot up the first base line. Durbin's got it right to the bag. 1 unassisted. No runs, no hits, 1 man left, just like last night. Chad walked the leadoff batter, got the next 3 hitters. That'll take us to the bottom of the 7th. Schmidt at third base for the Phillies in May of 1985.
You know, I didn't know this guy was a roving hitting instructor for Washington.
He used to be a hitting coach.
But he was with Arizona.
Right.
Ricky Shue.
Rick Shue is correct. Log back on to Phillies.com to find out if you're the winner of a Phillies prize pack. Thanks for playing Dodge. Stump the Fans.
I guess this was his first year, huh?
I think it was his first year.
Because he was with Arizona last year.
Willie Harris remains in the game. He's in left field for the Nationals. From left field to center field is Roger Bernardino. And the new pitcher is Tyler Clippard. He's a workhorse. 71st game for Clippard. He leads the league in wins by a relief pitcher with 9. He has one save in 10 opportunities. That's kind of misleading. As Chase Utley leads it off. I shouldn't say it's misleading. But it's not that he blew those saves in the 9th inning. Not all of them. A lot of them were in the 8th inning or even in the 7th inning of ball games, because he was kind of the setup guy extraordinaire for the Nationals. Set up for Matt Capps, and now he is setting up for Drew Story. Jay sits it in the air to straightaway center. Playable for Bernardino. One gone.
He's fastball, changeup for the most part, and you say he works a lot for them.
The oddity for Clippard is really his motion, because he is as over the top, like the old warhorse pitching machine.
He looks like a pie thrower, and he throws hard. When you think about a pie thrower, that's a nickname for an outfielder or a pitcher that doesn't throw real hard, that kind of looks like they're throwing a pie. But in this guy's case, he can rush it up there.
Outfielders and pitchers, they don't like to be called pie throwers.
Hate that. It's not a complimentary term, you know. You say you got a pie thrower in left field you can run on all the time. You're not saying anything real complimentary. You're just saying wave him in. Now, he's not a pie thrower.
No.
A little trouble with their positioning right now. And that's why time was just called.
They're going to move Bob Davidson, the second base umpire. He's going to move in a little bit, I think. No, it wasn't Bob Davidson they had a problem with. The count to Ryan.
Looks like the Phillies are going to go in their bullpen rotation tonight. That's Durbin or Romero in the 7th. Chad got through it. JC was up for Dunn just in case. And now Ryan Madsen up. It is a save situation. There's Jason Worth on deck at this point. So you think you would see Lidge tonight. There's that changeup.
Ryan was swinging fastball, and it's 2-1.
Well, he has great motion with his changeup because, as Tom described, he comes right over the top. But his arm speed's the same with his changeup as his fastball, and that's the whole key to the pitch. If you slow your arm up a little bit, hitters will see that and they'll adjust. That's why Oswald's changeup is so good.
Talked to Rich Doobie, the pitching coach for the Phillies, about that changeup. Rich Doobie says changeup is the second most important pitch in baseball. The fastball is the most important for a pitcher. But he said the changeup, not the curve, not the slider, not the split, it's the changeup.
It makes a lot of sense. Of course, Rich Doobie always makes a lot of sense.
Well, you want to hear Rich talk about changeups and fastballs? You should hear him talk to little leaguers. If anybody brings up the fact that they're throwing a curve,
yeah, that's not good for the elbow. I can remember that when you were a kid and you could throw one, you could embarrass people. It was fun. But it certainly wasn't any good for you.
Three and 2 the count. His work is never done.
No. Great fan, that fanatic.
Ball 4, and Ryan's aboard.
He's having some better at-bats lately, too. Notice the pitch counts with him. He's walking more, and as a result, he's hitting more.
Hey, if you're 30 years old or older, here's your chance of a lifetime. From the 19th of January till the 23rd, 2011 in Clearwater, Florida. It's Phillies Fantasy Camp. Call 610-520-3400. There's only a few spots that remain. You get a uniform with your name on the back. You get instruction from guys like Mitch Williams, Greg Luzinski. Phillies Fantasy Camp. Again, 610-520-3400. One out, runner at first. Jason Worth, the hitter. Jason takes one down and away. 1 ball and no strikes.
I'd like to score some more. They would be. You know, they've kind of been locked on the 5 runs since the 3rd inning. And not that they haven't hit it hard, because they have. They had some deep fly balls for outs and some line drives.
Well, they've done a better job lately of tacking on runs.
Right. And that's another reason why it becomes easier to win, when you can tack on runs and not be in 1-run games all the time.
Talk about a guy that's hit the ball hard tonight. Not only does Jason have a home run, he lined out to first. That was probably the softest ball he hit. Then he crushed one to the gap in right center field his last time up.
Oh, yeah, that was the inning when they hit 3 hard outs, long outs.
Carlos Ruiz hit one to the wall in left center. Fly ball to the right side. Espinosa on the edge of the grass makes the grab. There are 2 outs here in the 7th. Raul Ibanez is another guy that's hit the ball hard tonight. He's 3 for 3. Think about where Raul was back in July with his average. It is very difficult to lift your average. 50 points with all the at-bats he had. Tomahawk one foul, and it's 0-1. With all the at-bats he had before the All-Star break. Well, that's essentially what he's done. Look what he's done his last 11 games. I think his low point, Wheels, was it 221?
Well, how far back you want to go? Into June?
Yeah, into June.
.229.
229
on June 6th.
It's a lot of ground to make up. He had
175 at bats
yeah.
after that game when he went 0 for 4. He actually, the next day, he went to 230, and then he started to move up, drop back.
Something going on here. I don't know if there's a laser or something. Tim Cheetah is the crew chief. He's talking to Jim Riggleman right now, and they're asking for the grounds crew to come out. Something's going on. After that swing by Raul Ibanez, Tim Cheetah and Bob Davidson and Tyler Clippard both reacted. Looks like there's something that is bothering the fielders out in the outfield or out in the infield. This is the part of the game where you just don't know. You know there's something going on, but you have no idea what it is.
Yeah, the best thing is just wait, see what's going on, because no idea.
Remember, we saw before, Bob Davidson walked in a few steps. We thought they were trying to reposition him, but then he went back to his spot. So maybe that's where it started.
Bob tossed somebody out of a game in Milwaukee the other night, a fan
yep.
for language, and that certainly wouldn't be it at second base.
Maybe there's something up there that's bothering the batter or the catcher.
Well, I don't know. We'll see.
Angel Hernandez is going over to Charlie Manuel. Let him know what's going on. Well, Banya's going to step away, and Clippard's going to throw a couple here. Well, we won't know for a little bit of time what's going on. But Tim Cheetah had somebody go to the phone and call somebody.
No idea.
0-1 the count to Ibanez. Throw the gap in left center field. Willie Harris, the left fielder, moves over, and he makes the catch. So the Phillies leave one, a walk to Ryan Howard. We played 7 here at Citizens Bank Park. We go to the 8th. It's 5-2 Phillies. Advance by Xfinity. It's TV, phone, and internet reinvented from Comcast. And by Suzuki and the new Kizashi midsize sports sedan. Suzuki, the power of engineering. Top of the 8th. The ice cream's tasting pretty good right now, as the Phillies lead at 5-2. And they're into their bullpen for a second time after Chad Durbin pitched a scoreless 7th. Ryan Matson is on the pitch the 8th. And he'll face Ryan Zimmerman, Adam Dunn, and Roger Bernardina. 49th ball game for Matson, 5-2, a 2.47 earned run average. As Wheels mentioned, this is a bona fide save situation. Phillies lead it by 3. So it'll be Matson here, and then Brad Lidge in the 9th. Ryan is 1 for 2. He was hit by a pitch back in the first. And he doubled his last time up and came around to score the second run for the Nationals. And it's no balls and 1 strike. Pretty good numbers right there. 8 for 21 against Ryan.
Yeah, and he had that home run off Brad Lidge when the Phillies were down in Washington last time. That crushing defeat in the 9th inning. And
on the hands to center field.
Brad's been really good since then.
Yeah, that seemed to be the turning point this time for Brad. 1 out. Adam Dunn's 0 for 3. Struck out, popped out twice. Once to second, once to third. And a changeup outside. 1 ball and no strikes. Phillies have scored 5 runs on 11 hits. Meanwhile, the Nationals, who took a 1-0 lead after the first, have scored 2 runs on 6 hits. Ryan is making up for lost time. That time on the disabled list has enabled him here in September to be a little fresher for this stretch run. And he's trying to finish off this 8th inning here. Hey, time is running out to own a one-of-a-kind Fanatic Around Town statue. 11 statues have been auctioned off to date, and all at different donations, and it's been pretty impressive. There are 5 that are still available, including the one signed by the entire 2010 team. Proceeds go to Phillies charities. You can go to the fans section at Phillies.com for information on the Fanatic Around Town statues and make your bid. So with 1 away, here's Roger Bernardina. He's 0 for 3. A strikeout. He flied to center, and he lined to second. And a changeup in there for strike 1. It's odd to see Ryan with splits that he's showing right now. 6 balls, 3 strikes, 9 pitches total. Because his command has been really good. He's just not finding the slot right now with that changeup.
And these guys have seen him a lot too. You know, when you pitch against a team in your division as much as Ryan Madsen has, you know, they have a better idea of what he features. And maybe won't chase as much as a team that he doesn't face that often. But his stuff is so good. I mean, you know, he can throw a fastball by if you're looking for a changeup, and then he can really fool hitters with a changeup, and then he'll throw occasional cutter. So, you know, even when you have a game plan against him, he can beat you.
3-2 the count. Runner doesn't go, and it remains 3-2.
There you see a late swing like that on a 3-2 fastball, and that's because the hitter has changeup in the back of his mind. You know, they're going to try and get me out with it.
Tonight, Wheels, is the 29th time in the last 45 games since the 1st of August that Ryan's pitched in.
Yeah,
he's been a workhorse.
That's your point. He's making up for borrowed time now. And a little vacation with the broken toe.
The unwanted vacation.
Yeah, he didn't want it.
And ball 4. He's walked the last 2 batters. And it brings the tying run to the plate. And Mike Morse.
Yeah, this game just had a weird feel to it tonight because they haven't been able to add on, even though they've hit it really hard. They gave up kind of a funky run for the second run. And, you know, the Washington Nationals, you got to be careful you let them hang around.
Rich Dubie's out to the mound.
Phillies have had a lot of games with them over the years that have come down to the 8th and 9th inning. And they've been fortunate to win most of them.
Phillies are 8-5 against the Nationals this year, including a win last night. Again, what's at stake? Well, the Braves have won. They're 2.5 games back.
Well, you look back over this game in that one inning, it looked like they were going to get 2 or 3 more runs easily with the balls they were hitting to the deepest parts of this ballpark. But they were run down, and then another line drive out.
Morris takes a fastball for strike 1. Moore singled home run his last time up. Outfielders are deep all the way around. Inside, 2-1. Phillies trying to win their 35th game against the National League East this year. That's one of the deciding factors in their recent stay in first. Their success against the East.
Yeah, they're playing the East the rest of the month.
Yep. Broke his bat toward the hole. Cut off by Polanco from his knees. No play. And the bases are loaded. Second hit of the night for Morse. So the bases are loaded for the rookie Ramos. Not much that Paulie could do there. I don't know if he, if he could have let it go by for Valdez. I still don't think they would have gotten anybody at second. And it was a long throw to first.
No, this is just one of those things. The bat shatters. He made a good pitch on him, and Polanco cuts it off. There's not going to be. You saw Valdez flash behind him. Watch, here he comes behind him. Now, you think, well, maybe he could have a play at third. Well, he can't because there's nobody there. If it had gone by him, so.
Ramos hits the first pitch foul, and it's no balls and 1 strike. Ramos has a single tonight. He's 1 for 3. So the bases are loaded. The Phillies set the infield up for 2. Trying to preserve a 3-run lead. Checked his swing on a changeup, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Not the same kind of arm that Jim Wolf has from behind the plate.
Nobody has that kind of arm.
But Angel Hernandez got it to the pitcher.
Good job.
There's a strike. He came in with a cutter, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, you can see that one move a little bit there at the end. He's almost searching for a third pitch, which he normally doesn't have to do.
Yeah, because the changeup, he doesn't have the same command that he normally
does.
Not
chasing it.
Nope. 1 ball and 2 strikes the count.
They may now with 2 strikes.
Got a fastball and he fouled it back. How about the last time Ryan has had a game? I should say the last time he had a game with 2 unintentional walks was in May of 2009. I mean, that shows you the kind of command he's had.
Yeah, it's a struggle with him.
A line drive to left field. Here comes Ibanez. Makes the grab. Tagging from third and freezing is done. 2 outs. A little looper to left. Raul was on the run, and Dunn really can't run.
No, and he can't go there. They're down by 3 runs, and when the outfielder's charging in like that, there's no way the third base coach is going to send him. Unless he wants to look for another job. There it is, a changeup right off the end of the bat. Raul Ibanez charging on the play. It's going to end right there. That's the end of it. They're going to let Willie Harris take a shot here with two outs.
Willie Harris walked in his first at bat tonight. 3 hits in 7 at-bats against Matson. There have been times that he's been a real thorn in the side of the Phillies. Not all the time, but some of the time.
No, he can be a tough out. Pudge is on deck right now. Rodriguez.
The luxury of having 3 catchers on the roster. You can use one of them as a pinch hitter.
And this long inning is turning the lineup over for them too. Getting close to it.
Inside, 2-0. Figure Jose Contreras is probably going to start to throw soon for the Phillies in the pen. I say that because Rodriguez is on deck. And Kevin Mensch is really the only other pinch hitter for the Nationals. And the pitcher spot, which is due up next, if they decided to go with somebody else, he's the only guy they can go with at some point. There's no lefty off the bench. So that's why Contreras instead of Romero. Swing and a miss. That's a good changeup.
Yeah, behind in the count for a really good one there. Willie Harris swinging fastball all the way.
Here they come. 45,222 on their feet, looking for an out. I mean, they're up all the way around. The runners lead off. Swing and a miss. He got him. A changeup that was up a little bit, but Willie Harris was swinging fastball. And Ryan Matson works into trouble and works out of trouble. Here at the top of the 8th, he leaves them loaded. A big strikeout to finish up the inning. We go to the bottom of the 8th. It's the Phils. Shop at Phillies.com. Colin Ballister, the new pitcher for the Nationals. 5th pitcher used tonight by Jim Riggleman. And he'll face Carlos Ruiz, Wilson Valdez, and then the pitcher spot for the Phillies. Phillies lead at 5-2 here in the home 8th. Carlos 1 for 3 tonight. And it's 1 ball and no strikes. 2-0.
Well, these guys they're using right now, the bullpen, are guys they projected as starters over the years. Detweiler, Ballister.
We were talking about that before. It's odd, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I guess I don't know what to say. You know, they have them up here. I guess they want to still take a look at them.
A line drive for Ruiz, foul, and McKenzie made a pretty good stop on that one. And it's 2-1. I guess the thought is, Wheels, if they, as they move forward, maybe they can use some of these guys in spots out of the bullpen. Tyler Clippard was a starting pitcher at one point in his career.
Yeah, they just try and find out some things about him.
There are some that think, with all the pennant races that go on in September, that baseball should limit the number of players that are brought up when the rosters expand. Because, you know, teams have a ton of players at their disposal.
Well, it can be an advantage, disadvantage. And, you know, a lot of it has to do with economics or whether your team in the playoffs. I think one of the best suggestions I heard was you can bring them up, but you can only have 30 ready a game. In other words, you have to submit a roster before the game. Say, these are my 30 guys.
And you can switch it from day to day.
Yeah, sure. Switch it from day to day.
So instead of 25, it would be 30.
30. Just make a, you know, freeze a number so that one team can't be out there with 35 guys and the other one with 25 or 26 or 27. Something like that.
Valdez with another base hit. Kind of an uppercut on that swing. Third hit of the night. Fourth hit of the series. And Ross Glow will get a chance to take a hat. Load lines it to right. Morse started in, and he takes a step back. But he hits balls right on the nose.
He does, and they've hit a lot of balls hard here tonight for outs.
Well, now 2 gone. Load got that one fastball he wanted.
Oh, he's an outstanding pinch hitter, as Ross Glow. And, you know, having a guy like him from the left side, Sweeney from the right side, gives them a really good bench if they're fortunate enough to continue playing after the regular season.
Here's Victorino. He's 2 for 4. Singled twice tonight. Struck out and grounded out. Mentioned that event that Sarge and LA were at earlier today, the Hero Thrill Show, which supports the police and firefighters. Shane was at that event earlier today.
Great cause. I remember going to that when I was a kid. They had it over at Old Municipal Stadium, which then became JFK. They also had a convention hall where the great Warriors and 76ers teams played, and of course JFK was where Army Navy was played for so many years. It's such a worthwhile event, and it's great that the Phillies supported it. It's for police and firemen, for the families of police and firemen killed in the line of duty.
Yep. Sarge was saying before that it was kind of neat, you know, seeing the motorcycles and the police dogs going through their
motorcycle. When you were young and you went to that, it was all I remember is how loud it was. You know, when you were a kid, oh, that's so loud. It's cool.
Well, it was, as we said, a buzz around the complex today, not only with the Temple UConn game going on at Lincoln Financial Field, but also the Hero Thrill Show. Nice play by Dunn. Whoop. Colin Ballister didn't know who to throw that to. He thought Tim McClellan was behind the plate.
Yeah. Angel's not worried about that. He just pointed over the Phillies dugout like, hey, someone come get this.
Hey, Rob, come on, buddy. Pick up that ball.
Guy? Yeah, Rob got it.
Rob DiClemente, the Phillies bat boy. Outside, 3-1. And ball 4. The Phillies have 2 aboard for Polanco. 3 times Victorino's been on base tonight. That's going to jump that on base percentage, which is scorching here in September, up even higher. Doug Slayton warms up for the Nationals.
For Chase Utley, who's on deck.
Holly has grounded out 4 times tonight, the last time into a double play. Off the glove of Ramos, and the runners will move up. A couple big base runners out there right now in scoring position for the Phillies.
See what happens on this. Yeah, he backhands it. Sometimes when you backhand a ball like that, a catcher does. The hands get a little hard and it bounces away, as opposed to sliding out and blocking that breaking ball. Boy, a little 2-out hit here would really make it sweet.
Popped up behind second. Ian Desmond, the shortstop, calls everybody off, and the Phils leave a couple in scoring position here in the bottom of the 8th. So what does that mean? It means we go to the top of the 9th with a 3-run lead for the Phillies. And Brad Lidge coming on to try to close the door. Story of this ball game with former Phils All-Star closer Ricky Bottalico. Get player reactions on Phillies Postgame Live, presented by Sloan Toyota, after tonight's ball game right here on Comcast Sportsnet. Well, Brad Lidge is on to try to close the door on the Nationals, trying to pick up the save. Phillies lead 5-2. Now, the last outing for Brad, which was the final game against the Marlins, didn't go so well. Thought the Phillies still won the game, but he was lifted in the 9th inning. He came on, it wasn't a save situation, but he pitched it into a save situation. But he's been good in these spots in save opportunities this year.
Yeah, he could not pick up a save.
I should say since August 1st.
Right, he could not pick up a save in that game, as you said, Tom, but he did pitch it into a situation where Contreras came in and picked up a save.
94 career saves for Brad Lidge. That's tied for 4th all time with the great Tug McGraw. A save tonight would give him 95. It would move him within 7 of Mitch Williams, who's 3rd with 102. And he'll face pinch hitter Kevin Mensch, 4 for 10 against Lidge in his career. The problem for Brad in his last outing against the Marlins, it was twofold. It was command of his fastball and, most importantly, command of his slider. Fastball, mile high up the first baseline. And Ryan Howard makes the catch. An easy first out for Lidge. One away. At the top of the order, Danny Espinosa. Espinosa has never faced Brad Lidge. 1 for 4 tonight, 2 for 8 in the series. Chopper to the right side. Chase to his left. He can run it to the bag. 2 outs on 3 pitches.
Thank you very much. Swinging at him. That's good.
The Phillies have won 5 straight games. They won the last day in New York. In fact, they took 2 of 3 in New York. Then swept out the Marlins. Won last night here against the Nationals. Trying to win it here tonight. And make it 6 in a row. Ian Desmond, 1 for 4. A triple back in the first. Back in the first when everything seemed to be going the wrong way.
Remember we talked about the first inning could influence the 9th inning?
Yep.
Amazing in baseball how that can happen. And you can limit damage early in the game. Sometimes it can help you win a game.
1 ball and 1 strike.
And this game still has an out to go before you've won it. But when you look back on that first inning, it could have all fallen apart right there.
Really nice job by Kyle Kendrick to get out of that first inning and allow just 1 run.
He did a great job to get out of that inning.
The 1-1 pitch. Held up from going after that slider. And it's 2-1. Desmond has 1 hit in 2 at-bats against Lidge. Both coming this year. Swing and a miss. 2-2. He's got a good slider tonight.
Yeah, and that's a fastball count as far as Desmond's concerned, and he chased it.
It's getting to feel like October. That's how loud it is here at Citizens Bank Park. 2-2 the count to Desmond. Good time was called. Fans will have to restart their engines one more time. Little number right back toward the mound. Spinning right to Brad Lidge. And it's a 1-2-3 top of the 9th inning for Brad. Brad Lidge moves past Tug McGraw on the all-time saves list in Phillies history. And in doing so, he helps the Phils to their 88th victory of the season. They're now 27 games over the 500 mark. Not only that, most importantly, Charlie Manuel's bunch remains 3 games up in the National League East. That's a pretty efficient 9th inning for Brad.
Yeah, good job by Brad Lidge to finish that off. Throwing the last batter out at first base. Ian Desmond. Wilson Valdez, a Chevrolet player of the game.
Might be the Chevrolet player of the last 2 months.
Yeah, he's been tremendous. And it looked a little scary tonight, like he might have blown a tire going into second base, but he kept on playing, got more hits. Another great job by Wilson Valdez.
It's your 252nd home run there. Breaking ball. You sitting on that pitch?
I knew early in my previous at bat he was throwing one, and I felt like I was on it, and it just didn't break. One of those backup curveballs, and he threw me the fastball, kind of fouled it off. So I kind of figured he was going to try and go back to it.
Now, are you a stat guy? Do you look at your stats and know where you are, like in the history of the game at all?
You know what? I don't really do so. I don't do that so much. A lot of people usually kind of come and remind me of what's going on, but. I mean, I guess I just passed Pat, a guy who's meant a lot to this organization, and it's a great feat to accomplish, and I'm just glad I got the opportunity to be here and do something like that.
Well, also 5 years in a row, 30 home runs or more, 100 RBIs. I mean, that's in a class by yourself.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I'm just going out there trying to do what I can, and I've been blessed.
How easy is it when you see that the Braves have actually lost, and then you go up and you look at the games? Does that give you motivation, or does it give you motivation even when they win?
I mean, it's September. The motivation's already there. I think, we're kind of coming down to this last little bit in the sprint. So I'm sure there's probably a little bit of scoreboard watching each way. So, we just have to be able to go out there and take care of our business and then worry about what happens with them after that.
Thanks for coming on. Tom Wills?
All right, Sarge, thank you very much. Ryan Howard, an opposite field home run and a whole lot of smiles tonight. Brad Lidge closed out the ninth beautifully. The Phils win at 5-2. We'll be back after this.